long relationship that has always been the norm. It's always been this way. When we see a little change, it's like a person getting better, but then they go back to their old way.
I need to buy a new car and I can't because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car.
A lot of people are out here calling it the depression. I like to call it the awakening. People are just realizing how much they can get done.
Millions of Americans are facing a cost of living crisis, and it's just absolutely devastating and sad to see what is happening worldwide. Rising gas prices, rising groceries, rent, etc. And there's nothing being done about it. There's no change that is taking place. The dollar is getting weaker. You're not able to save and even afford the life that just to live comfortably as much as you used to in the past anymore. It's very difficult to have hope in these trying times. So this channel is focused on highlighting these stories to cause a mass awakening here, because if more and more people talk about it, maybe change can really take place and become a part of this community here to work towards that abundance mindset, that abundant life that we're aiming toward. Watch until the end, guys. These are very eye-opening.
This discussion with somebody in the gym, and they were saying, why do you think Americans are accepting like what's going on currently? And I said, I'll be honest with you, man. It's like somebody being in an abusive relationship, right? Most people that are in an abusive relationship, they know that they're in an abusive relationship, but they won't leave. For whatever reason, they'll stay in that abusive relationship. They'll continue to get abused. And I said, if you think about Americans, they're just used to being abused.
It's very sad. It's very sad stuff. It's what do you call it? Stockholm syndrome.
It is the norm. It is like this long relationship that has always been the norm. It's always been this way. When we see a little change, it's like a person getting better, but then they go back to their old ways. And it's almost like we think like, well, we know what good looks like, but then the bad is really bad.
Right.
And I think that's the situation we're in right now. We're like, well, we know what good looks like. We know what our top tier looks like. But when it's bad, it's bad. A lot of times when you're in an abusive relationship, you're looking at the highs. But honestly, the cons outweigh the pros. But people don't look at it like that. And I think that's the current state that we are in America right now. Right now, the cons outweigh the pros. But we're just
This brother is preaching, man. And also, I have to say, man, you have to put faith. You have to have faith in God, Jesus, to put your worries on him as well, anxiety, etc. Because even just that bit of faith, man, giving your heart to him will definitely help. Not even could, will. And then you just try your best to keep moving forward and try to learn and research other ways to beat inflation, like, but learning how to budget, learning investing, for example.
Open on this high. It's almost like buying a lottery ticket. It's almost like if I hit this, I'll be set. But the chances of you hitting the lottery are slim to none. And that is the best way I can explain this situation. And after I explained it that way, he said, man, I never looked at it from that point of view. I was like, dude, that's what it is. And until we as a U.S. citizens break out of this abusive relationship, it'll continue to happen. And that's what it is. Hopefully this is helpful to somebody. Chris with the Gems.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month.
It's like they're just creating new, expenses. It's just out of thin air. Here's a new expense for you.
I need to buy a new car and I can't, because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day.
That's the sad part. Groceries, man. People have to eat, have to cook. The groceries getting more expensive is one of the worst things.
I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription, everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money. And yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me. And they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC, not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway. So we got to talk about this more. We got to raise.
That's such a great point. She's making such great points here. For example, with everything she's struggling with, there's always somebody out there that's doing worse than you. So this is why you have to count your blessings. This is why you have to be thankful, show gratitude. But also, even so, you realize there's people out there, again, people in authority, people that are doing extremely well. God bless them. But a lot of them, like she said, are self-absorbed, narcissistic. They're not putting themselves in other people's shoes because everything is working out for them, right? So very relatable what she's saying here.
Is hell. We have to let DC know that this is not acceptable. Regardless of your party, we have got to help each other. I gotta let
100%.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
We're not. Truth of the matter, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck with credit card debt. I know people who are legitimately putting gas and groceries on credit cards just so that they can get back and forth to work. I believe that this is what most people are now calling the silent depression. $100 has become the new $20, and it's ridiculous. But the best thing about it is that people have shifted their core values. Look at this app alone and all the videos of all the retailers on Black Friday that nobody was there. They just don't care anymore. People are realizing that if it doesn't bring value into my life, then I don't need it. And while I don't get political on this app, you're having people on both sides of the aisles going, yeah, this kind of sucks. Right wing.
Super relatable. When it comes to politics, man, I think you have to create your own environment. I was listening to a pastor saying you have to create your own environment, right? You can't really look to politicians to get you out of whatever situation that you're in. You have to go out, research, get yourself surrounded by like-minded people. That's what I'm doing here. And start figuring things out together, right? Two heads are better than one.
Left wing, it doesn't matter. It's the same bird. And now so many Americans are going, I truly just, I don't care. I think it's woken a lot of people up to the idea of why are we funding things that we don't care about when all of us right here are struggling. It's changed the people's attitude in the workforce to where a job is just a job. You used to be very loyal to a job, but they've seen that there's no employee loyalty because there's no employer loyalty. People aren't putting up with toxic bosses anymore. You're either going to treat me right or I'm going to leave, because there's tons of companies that are hiring because nobody can find help. People just don't trust the system anymore, and they're starting to focus on...
The system is so broken and so rigged. I see so much talks about the American dream being dead, and I 100% agree. But, again, positive, abundant mindset, guys. Anything's possible. You put your mind to something, you can accomplish it.
What matters the most? Most people are out here making more money than they ever have and realizing that it's not going anywhere. So they're just not spending it.
That's a great point as well.
And what has made a lot of people turn their back on the system is that now they somehow either make too much or not enough money to qualify for the government assistance that they've been paying into their entire life. There are people out there who can't afford to buy the groceries, but they make too much money to get the food stamps. A lot of people are out here calling it the depression. I like to call it the awakening. People are just realizing how much they can get done on their own.
And that's exactly what I was saying from the start of the video. No coincidence here, guys. I was going through random videos here and did not plan this at all. That's what I said at the start of the video. Open your eyes to an awakening that is happening here, where people figure things out on their own, and that's the best way to do it. You find a community to do so.
And that they don't need the government to hold their hand.
Right.
So to go back to your question, how are people making it? Financially, I don't really know. But I'm very grateful that people are starting to look for answers.
How are you dealing with the silent depression, the cost of living crisis? Let me know in the comments section how your friends and family dealing with it. Do you know anyone that is struggling right now? I would love to read and talk to every single one of you and communicate on what is happening here, because again, there needs to be a change. There's an awakening happening, and if governments, politicians won't make that change, we can make that change ourselves. Check out the last video that I did right here on screen. This is the first video after that I've made on this subject, and I'll continue to make content on this subject. But if you also want to learn how to make content, how to do YouTube, how to grow in this space, join my WAP page, which is linked in the description, for less than the price of a cup of coffee. It's only $5 a month to join, and I will one-on-one talk to each and every one of you personally on helping you to grow on this platform. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Always remember to give praise and glory to the Lord God Jesus. Thank God for everything, and I'll catch you in the next one.